What's good, YouTube? This your boy Money Mitch TV coming to you straight off the hip. Man, more NBA news. Former Chicago Bull, former New York Knick point guard Derrick Rose signed a one-year deal with the Cleveland Cavaliers, which potentially he might be the starting point guard if the Cleveland Cavaliers trade Kyrie Irving. Everybody know in recent news, Kyrie Irving has requested a trade from the Cleveland Cavaliers, and he want to go to certain teams. There has been numerous teams calling for Kyrie. One team I had predicted, and they came to pass. The Boston Celtics is one of the teams that actually called about Kyrie. Also, there's other teams that might have some interest, maybe the San Antonio Spurs or the Minnesota Timberwolves. That's one of the two teams that have interest, or maybe the Knicks. That's another team that has some interest. But back to Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose, this is a good signing for Cleveland because you got him for cheap, which I feel like the Spurs should at least gave him maybe $5 million for 1 year, and I think that would have been good. And because San Antonio need a starting point guard, but I understand Greg Popovich. He needs to stick with the people he has, and I understand Greg Popovich is trusting Patty Mills more to be a starting point guard this coming up season. But Derrick Rose, I think it would benefit him by him joining a winning team. I think he realized that he has maybe 1 or 2 years left in his career before he catches another injury. I think if Derrick Rose do this year very well, but he played this year with no injuries, and he played maybe 20 minutes a game, averaged maybe 12 points, maybe a couple assists here and there, and become a great productive player, and then turn it up in the playoffs, then the Cavs have something. If Derrick Rose is ready to buy into the system that Tyronn Lue has for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Also, LeBron James reported to several sources that he is eager for Kyrie to be traded. It sounds like it's a lot of dysfunction in the Cavs organization. You know, some people said it's LeBron's fault. I thought it was LeBron's fault, but I had to sit back and think about it. It's really not LeBron's fault. It's Dan Gilbert's fault, the owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers. And here's the reason why. You drafted Kyrie Irving back in 2011, and that's right after LeBron James left Cleveland the first time. You promise him the franchise. You tell him that he's going to be the cornerstone of the franchise. You bring David Griffin in as the GM, which David Griffin has a good track record of building good playoff teams. For one example, the Phoenix Suns back in 07 and 08 with Steve Nash, Sean Marion, Amari Stoudemire. Those group of people, that was a good team. So you try to build a system similar like that, evolving around Kyrie, and it don't work out because you bring LeBron James. And everybody knows this. Anytime a team acquires LeBron James, you have to change your whole team to fit LeBron James into that system, what that team's running. Sometimes you have to change your coach, and you have to change the personnel also. Give you a prime example. When LeBron went to Miami, did you know Miami had acquired 8 new players on that squad? 8 new players just to fit that squad for LeBron. And then when LeBron left Miami and went back to Cleveland, you know, Cleveland had pretty much gutted out their whole roster just to fit LeBron in. So I look at it from a bigger picture. Part of it is Dan Gilbert's fault, and part of it is LeBron's fault. But it's more of Dan Gilbert's fault because Dan Gilbert created this mess. He's the one that pretty much gave Kyrie a bunch of promises, and then he broke the promise when he brought LeBron in. Now Kyrie is upset. Although he won a championship with LeBron James, he still is unhappy because he wants his own team. Also, Kyrie Irving, he gets a lot of his basketball knowledge from Kobe Bryant, and I think that's one of the influences that why Kyrie is thinking like that and why his mentality is like that, because he's influenced by another person, which is Kobe Bryant, which is a 5-time champion, which I don't blame Kyrie. Hey, if you win your championship early in your career, it's cool to leave and get your money and become the man of the team for the rest of your career. Name a lot of NBA players that won one championship ring and just enjoyed the rest of their career by just competing on different teams. I'll give you one person, Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce won that one championship with the Boston Celtics, and then for the rest of his career, he was just playing to be a contender in the playoffs every year from that point on. So yeah, like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you think about this acquisition with Derrick Rose, and tell me what you think about these trade rumors with Kyrie Irving. Leave it in the comment section. It's your boy Money Mitch TV, and I'm out.
Fact, I had sources in LeBron James camp literally tell me, and I'm quoting Charles. If Kyrie Irving was in front of LeBron James right now, LeBron James would be tempted, quote, to beat his ass, end quote.